Well, what a beautiful day out here. Look at this sky. I mean, it's just gorgeous, but it is cold, I can tell you that. You know, more heat would be a good thing right now. But I'm about to jump into something that's, I think, going to be a little controversial. So stick around. Well, hello again, Internet. Welcome back to the channel. Yeah, we're going to get into a little bit of controversy today, I think. So maybe you guys can, I think I'm going to take a side that's not going to be real popular. Maybe you guys could help educate me a little bit. And that is, can less be more? Can less be more? You know, we generally think of more of everything. Like I say, it's really cold. A few more degrees would help out a lot. I probably should have put on some more layers because it's pretty cold out here today. Colder than what I thought it was going to be. Should have put my head warmer on and stuff as well. But yeah, I should have more clothes on. But what about on our e-bikes? Is less really maybe a little bit more? Do we need more on our e-bikes? You know, we're making these things more width on the tires. I've seen them up to almost 5 inches wide. My dirt bike tires were not much wider than that, if that much, if wider. Probably not as wide as that. We're getting more power to them, more speed out of them, more battery on them, so more range. That's also giving us more weight on them. It's not uncommon for these things to be over 100 pounds now. It's like they're trying to make them into little motorcycles. And straight up, if I wanted a little motorcycle, I would go and buy a little motorcycle. So, you know, I wanted a bicycle. And, you know, let's go ahead and switch over to that other camera angle there. Hey, come on. Take that. Fella's trying to take over my turf. Where was we at there? Ah, the moor. Yeah, we're getting all these, you know, we're making out little mini motorcycles here. And like I said, if I wanted to ride a motorcycle, I would go buy a motorcycle. Well, Blaine, you know, you do you and let other people do them. Because I've been actually trying to get less and less. You know, I used to make a living working with horses and working with people to help them work with their horses. And I always told everybody I want to do less and have the horse do more. You know, less is sometimes more. And what am I talking about less? Well, I'm trying to get a little bit less weight on this bike. I'm trying to use less of the motor on this bike. You know, I'm wanting actually me to do a little bit more and the bike to do a little bit less as far as the motor is concerned, because I'm trying to get, you know, I'm using this for exercise as well. And I could certainly use that. Let's take a look at this bike here for just a second here. We'll come up to the top of the hill. Actually, there's a little pull-off area right there. We can kind of roll into here. And, you know, we'll take a look here at some things that I've done. Of course, you know, I've been wearing a backpack lately. And so this rack, if the backpack works out in the summer, the rack's probably going to come off. I'm going to go with a backpack. And that's going to mean just a little light. You see, I'm using a smaller seat as I ride more. I really like that smaller seat. My headlight up here is gone. I took off the integrated headlight, and I got one strapped to the stem riser here. If we look at my handlebars here, we'll go ahead and roll on. Here's another thing. I don't know if I'd mentioned this before or not, but I'm trying to use less of the throttle anymore. So anytime somebody sees me using that throttle to pull out, that's about the only time I use it anyway. But anytime somebody sees that, tell me, man, I got you, I got you. So, because I'm trying to even see about getting rid of that and not using that anymore. Well, okay, Blaine, that's fine for you. If that's what you want to do, hey, more power to you. Well, what's wrong with somebody else that wants to do more? Well, I can tell you what's happening is because the industry is doing more. Who was it that I was watching the other day? Russ up in Chicago said he didn't like to ride on the bikeways very much because people kind of yell out at him there. You know, e-bikers get a bad reputation that they do not deserve. We're going to even be doing a video on that. I've got enough video coverage of, I will just go ahead and call them the spandex crowd, that I think I can just about put together an entire video on how they're a lot of problem, you know, but that's not for today. But this bike right here, you know, you just looked at it. Nobody ever says anything to me about an e-bike, about being on an e-bike. And it's fast, it'll go up to 28 miles an hour. But boy, when I take out my fat tire bike, there's usually not too bad on that, because I try and keep it, you know, relatively slow. But well, you hear the stories all day long. You hear the stories all day long. Well, so what, Blaine? Let them have, you know. But here's the thing that I have a bit of a problem with is when they make these things more speed and more power. I'll tell you something else we're going to get more, and it's going to come in faster, and that's going to be the regulations. I have seen several videos already. 2024, an e-bike revolution. They're getting stronger and faster and more powerful and all-wheel drive. And then I've seen other videos that talk about the laws that are coming in on e-bikers. Don't you see the connection there? Change my mind on that. You know, as I think it's Charlie Kirk would say that, change my mind. Because I don't think where we're headed is in a good direction. And I like to get a good range. Matter of fact, I'd like to see 2 batteries. And if I get another bike this year, if I can find one with the specs that I like, it doesn't matter if it has a second battery, and if it's got one integrated, it will have a second battery, because I've already investigated how I can hook up a battery kind of like I have right now to it and be good to go. You know, be good to go on it. And so that's going to happen. Again, I want to find something that has the specs that I like before I'm going to do something like that. But do we really need to be going over 28 miles an hour? Some would say we don't need to be going over 20 miles an hour. Others are saying we need to be able to go 40 miles an hour, and that's to keep up with traffic. Well, you know, something like the Surrons, or, well, not even the Surrons, but the Grizzlies and things like that, the moped style e-bikes, there's nothing wrong with them, but they're not meant to be pedaled. What if they could have a different designation for all of those things? Would that be fair? Tell me in the comments what you think. Because I know some of you guys ride some of the bikes like that, the moped styles. That's not something that I am real interested. Let's see. I think we'll maybe go down towards the fire department today. That's not something I'm real interested in. Like I said, they kind of remind me of a mini bike when I was a kid. And so, you know, I'm not necessarily interested in riding one like that, but at least not for a main bike. Oh, they could be a lot of fun, don't get me wrong, but for a main bike. But what if we could get them at this stage classified as something else? Would that kind of leave the, how would I say, the bicycles that have battery-powered assistance, would that leave those alone? Because what we're going to find out, you know, and I've been preaching this, you've probably heard it on some other videos. You go to Europe, it's 250 watts is the max. And I'm not sure if it's 20 kilometers or 20 miles per hour is the top speed that an e-bike, if you're going to have it on greenways and that type of thing right there. So I kind of hate to see that being pushed in, but if this continues going where it's going, the push is going to get hard, and that's what's going to end up happening. Michelle is already looking at different states that are starting to ban e-bikes on the bikeways, and they're saying they are banning e-bikes. Now that's only in the beginning phases. That's probably going to be not argued, but negotiated down to where it's maybe class 1 and class 2 e-bikes are okay there, but not class 3. Probably is where it's going to go. Maybe they'll include class 3 on them and nothing above that. Technically, a lot of these bikes are above a class 3 because a class 3 is supposed to throttle up to 20 and that's it. And a lot of these throttle past that. Well, who's going to enforce that? You know, I get that. But when you see these bikes that are on the street out there going 40 miles an hour, let's take a ride back through this little neighborhood here. It's a dead end, but we'll see where it goes. But when you see them bikes out there doing 35, 40 miles an hour on the roads, and they turn down a bike path, and that's what's going to get people's dander in an uproar. Well, this isn't very big. I would have thought this could have, because I know they have quite a bit of land that can go back there. Maybe it turns again, goes further on. No, it doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like it. That's what gets people in a dander. And you know, like I said, all it takes is the wrong person in a community to start that. Who might that wrong person be? Well, you know, we all hear about the cyclist, the road cyclist, how they hate e-bikers. How many of the, I would have thought they had more room back here than this, but I guess not. You know, there's a ton of road cyclists out there that have lobbying groups with them. They try and get better infrastructure and stuff like that. That's good. But what happens when one of them road bikers doesn't like the e-bikers? There's a little food for thought, huh? They've got more political power than the e-bikers do because there's not much working for them. There's the electric vehicles, but that's not specific enough for bikes that it's going to help us a whole lot. So, but that's what's been on my mind, is that maybe a little less could actually be a little bit more. Something that looks a little less like a motorcycle, a little more like a bicycle. Let's see, where do we want to go? We'll head down to the fire department. So, I'd like to hear in the comments what your guys' thoughts are on that. Like I said, change my mind. And I love my fat tire bike, don't get me wrong. But like I say, we're getting into an area that they're already talking about, you know, throwing regulations out there. Oh boy. What do you think we can do about that? So leave your comments down below. I think I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up on that one right there, Internet. So till next time, hey, Southern E-Biking telling you, stay safe, God bless, and keep the wheels rolling. Once again, we're out.